Can spending actually be frugal? I wonder. We're going to take a look at some purchases that may seem extravagant to some people, and we're going to figure out if they are frugal or not. And once again, many of these experiences will be mine, so I'm only speaking from me and my experiences. There's actually many opinions about what being frugal actually is. And the definition is that a person who is frugal is very thoughtful and very careful on how they manage and spend their money and their resources. They avoid waste. They make thoughtful choices that add value or enhance the quality of their lives. They track their spending. They know where their money goes. They like quality. So those are some of the characteristics of a frugal person. And we're going to go into some of those purchases that a frugal person might make and talk about whether they're frugal or not and why. Now remember, you can be poor and frugal, or you can be wealthy and frugal. You can be somewhere in between and frugal. You can be on a fixed income and frugal. Anybody can be frugal, including the wealthy. I'm not saying I'm wealthy, by the way. I'm going to share some of my purchases that I consider frugal, that you may wonder if they really are. I purchased a freezer. It's a small freezer. It's only like 3 cubic feet. I'm so glad that I purchased that freezer. And you know how I talk about how I spent indiscriminately on Amazon? Well, the freezer was one of the purchases that I made. So I figured out one thing that I spent it on, and I enjoyed it. It's improved the quality of my life. I am able to batch cook, and I'm able to freeze things and put them up in the freezer. I was concerned when I got it that I wouldn't have a place to put it because my home is very small, and I was thinking I'll put it out in the shed and I'll go out and get the stuff. And my friend said, "Are you really going to go out in the shed and get stuff that you want?" No, I'm not. So it's right here next to me. It's my armrest. I can also get a snack if I want, or a frozen pop or something while I'm sitting here. So the freezer, I think, was a frugal purchase. Then last year, I bought a gallon of scallops. Some people call them scallops. I call them scallops, whatever. They're a shellfish. And they came right off the boat. They were like hours old when I got them. It was $180 for 1 gallon of scallops. I'm not exactly sure how much you get in 1 gallon of scallops, but my friend and I split the gallon, so I paid $80. I took those scallops home and I bagged them individually, and I had a small meal set aside once a month for $6.70. So to me, that I consider that frugal, because if I go out to lunch, it costs me $20. If I went out and got scallops, it would be probably $60. So once a month, I can have a treat for myself, feeling extravagant maybe, and feeling special for that one day, and I can enjoy it. So I believe that that was a frugal purchase that actually enhanced the quality of my life. A few years ago, I purchased a generator. And the reason that I did that is because I live in an area that has frequent outages. I live in the woods on a dirt road, so it's kind of like over the river and through the woods. And I couldn't handle, especially after my husband passed away, I just could not handle not having power. I got extremely anxious. You can't flush the toilet. Well, you guys all know this, but you can't flush the toilet. You can't watch television. You can't get on the computer. You can't read a book, blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking, well, how am I going to live in this house for the rest of my life and not be able to experience that every so often? And I chose not to experience that. So I purchased a generator. Now, this generator was very expensive. It was not cheap. And I told them when they installed it that I wanted to be able to run my dryer. I wanted to be able to have lights in my shed. And I have a bunkhouse where people stay when they come in the summer. And I didn't want to have to worry about one thing. So I'm sure I paid well for that. But you have no idea how many times it has saved me, given me peace of mind, kept me comfortable, and decreased my anxiety. Now, on the other hand, it increased my propane bill. Well worth it, in my opinion. I also purchased a few years ago. I was trying to get ready for old age because I didn't think I was really old or that I was getting old, and I still can't figure out how I got to be this old. But anyway, I purchased a heat pump, and that some people call them dual things, or I don't know, but it air conditions and it heats. Well, my only source of heat, well, that's not true. I have two sources of heat. I have my wood fire, which had been my primary source of heat for a long, long time. I love the wood fire. I think I showed it to you in one of my videos. But I noticed that it's no longer as much fun for me to go out and fetch the wood. So I decided that I would install this heat pump. Now, the air conditioning that comes with it, isn't that a nice blessing? I swore because I lived on a lake I would never have air conditioning. Well, guess what? I have air conditioning. I am very happy with it. I can go down to the water near my house. I can get hot and I can get home and I can get relief. I can sleep at night. So it improved my quality of life. Was it expensive? Yes. Has it impacted my long-term living in this house? Possibly. But at least while I'm here, I'll be comfortable. And it will also add to the resale value of my home. You're going to laugh when you hear this, but I'm going to talk about the famous dishwasher that I've been complaining about in every video about being frugal. Well, that actually was a very good purchase because I'm not going to have to worry about a dishwasher, hopefully, cross my fingers, for a long, long time, probably after I'm gone. And it's quiet. It doesn't cause me aggravation. And I'm over the fact that I spent $1,000 on it. It cleans the dishes better. So it was kind of a win-win. It also made me aware of how I was spending my money. So even though I spent $1,000 on that dishwasher, I'm spending a lot less money in the long run because I'm looking at what I'm spending. Now, next thing is I have a large dog. She's a Great Dane, and she's my best friend, really. They're the only kind of dog I've ever had, and they are gentle giants, and they're sweet except when they get in the trash, but, you know, that's having a dog. But they cost a lot of money. The vet bills every time you go are over $300, and the food, I think that I spend around $150 a month. So that's a few scallop dinners that I could have had. But she gives me a sense of security. She's a companion. She's funny. She communicates with me. She makes me laugh. She aggravates me. She is a frugal purchase because she improves the quality of my life. And then I have a seal meal. And a seal meal, you say, oh, big deal. Who needs a seal meal? You can use Ziploc bags. Yes, you can. Ziploc bags are expensive too, you know. I never did the comparison price. I just always go for, you know, the in-fashion stuff. So I have a seal meal, but I sealed up my scallops, I sealed up my leftovers, I seal up everything. And the reason that I consider it a frugal investment is because I want to use it. I want to freeze my things. And it keeps your frozen things longer. they don't get freezer burn. You don't have to throw out things in your freezer that have expired after just being in there for a few months. If you've ever taken out a bag of chicken that was not correctly closed, you'll know what I mean, that freezer burn and stuff. Some of you are probably saying, oh, when is this going to be over? Well, we're winding down. I'm going to tell you some of the frugal things that I've done. I cook large batch. I eat leftovers. I love leftovers. I make this whole gigando thing of chili and I eat it every day for a week. And then I freeze the rest of it. So I've got a lot. If I go out to eat, which is very rare, I bring home the doggy bags. And I'm chuckling as I say that because we used to laugh because my mother always wanted everyone's leftovers and put in one doggy bag. I buy quality meats in bulk. For example, I go to BJ's or Sam's and I buy the scallops in bulk. I divide in meal-sized portions and I freeze so that I can have at least one really nice meal a week. Actually, it adds up to more than that. But that's what I do. I do shop sales, I use coupons, and we're going to talk about in the next video those phone apps that you can download on your phone and you can get credits. I just couldn't do it for this one because I know it was getting long, and the average view time for my videos is about 3 minutes. So it didn't. I want to keep it down short. Here's a riot. I tried using cloth paper towels instead of paper towels, and I'm still on the fence about that. But when I was cleaning my sewing trunk, I found a whole bunch of extra flannel, and that's what those are made out of. So I have decided that I am going to try it again, and I'm going to try it in earnest by having a lot of cloth towels and using them. But I'm suspicious that you cannot go totally without paper towels. But stay tuned because I'm going to talk about all the things that I've tried and my opinion of them and how they've worked. And I will be honest. I would love to make bread, and I think I told you this. I've watched every YouTube video on the planet, and I do try to make the bread. It very rarely comes out edible. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to do that someday. I buy coffee in bulk. I like a special type of coffee. It's more expensive than Maxwell House or Folgers or something, and there's nothing wrong with those. I just prefer this particular coffee. I buy it, but in bulk, in a large quantity, and I only buy it when it's on sale at BJ's, and that sale is usually like $7 for a package off of the coffee. So I feel that is a frugal thing. I compost every scarp of vegetable scraps that I have, every little bit. I make my own Christmas cards because I'm teaching myself how to watercolor, so I'm using my hobby to make my Christmas cards. And I think you've heard enough about all the things that I've done. There's even more that we're going to talk about another time. I'm sorry, I had to come back with these few other ones. I did the no spend month. I cannot advise enough people to do that. I had a ball. I was successful, and I'm sort of doing it this month. Not as well as in January, but I'm doing it. I assess my money every day, and I stay on track. I do not pay for any of the games that I talked about being possibly addicted to in the last video. And yesterday, I went to the library and signed up for free books and ebooks. So those are my frugal habits, and I will tell you how they all have worked out for me. So Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I wish that you would like and subscribe and comment. Comment if you disagree with me or you agree with me or you have other ways of looking at what's frugal and what's not. Just keeping in mind that everyone is at a different level. And cheap is okay too. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.